So in our preparation for the Torah portion, we've got the Feast of Purim tonight. So I just want to have a few words and discuss a few things in relation to the connection between the two. So Purim, if you look at the menorah pattern with the 7 festivals, Purim is in between Tabernacles and Passover, which is Sukkot and Pesach. Why is that significant? How does that link with the Torah portion? So when you think about the book of Exodus, we are currently in the Torah portion, including last week's, in the information or the instructions regarding the construction of the tabernacle, which link in with tabernacles on the menorah pattern, and it started in Exodus with leaving Egypt and Pesach, the first Passover. So you see the connection there with the festivals, the book of Exodus, and where we are in this current Torah portion cycle within the book of Exodus. Now, in saying that, we also noted that this Torah portion is the 8th one in this cycle within Exodus. Last week was the 7th one, and the 6th one was to do with the 10 words. The 7th one started with the revealing of the blueprint of the tabernacle, and number 8 is about the commandments and dealing with the priesthood and starting to reveal a bit more of the functions within the tabernacle as well, the future functions through the priesthood and their attire and all the objects associated with it. Now, in saying that, we've got the concept of 6, 7 and 8. We also see that with the Feast of Purim, because Purim is the 8th feast in the cycle. You might say, yes, we had Hanukkah. That was actually number 8. No, Hanukkah is a delayed Sukkot. That's basically still classified as the 7th one. Purim is number 8, and then we go back to number 1. So there's only 8 festivals, if you look at it from that perspective. And that also links to number 6, 7, and 8. Number 7 relates to the 7 feast cycles. Number 6 is the starting point prior to revealing the festivals to us. And the first mention of that was in Exodus, just after they left Egypt, prior to receiving the commandments. The Sabbath was mentioned, which is one of the main drivers of the cycles of 7. Number 6 is the lower state or the physical. Number 7, everything that has to do with cycles. That's transformation cycles. From the Sabbath, the 7 festivals, everything that has to do with 7 has to do with transformation. And then number 8 means new beginnings. It's also the letter Chet, which means Chai or life, or Chai Olam, eternal life, or life in the presence of Yahweh, which is the new beginning, which link back to Yahweh living with us and the restoration or the establishment of the temple, the New Jerusalem on earth. So number 8, which is Purim, is associated with that highest state. And there's a lot of hidden things, because Esther means hidden. And it's the scroll of the hidden. So the function of the scroll of the hidden is actually the scroll that reveals. Now, what other book in the Bible is about Revelation? Well, I just said it, the book of Revelation, of course. So Revelation is similar to the book of Esther. It reveals something that is to come. So within the story of Esther, there's a lot of things embedded within that story that relates to the end times, which is the second coming of Messiah. And tonight we're going to look at all the names and all the meanings and a few interesting things regarding hidden things that is to be revealed, including the name Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, that is nowhere found within the book of Esther, but it is found hidden within the Hebrew, within certain verses. So, very interesting book to look at, but to understand the context and importance thereof is actually the most significant thing about it. The reason I'm saying that is there's a lot of people who believe Hanukkah and Esther is not in the Torah. We don't do it. Some even believe that it's wrong to do it. They only do the 7 festivals. Others don't even bother. They only do Easter. Maybe first fruits, because then they can get offering, and maybe tabernacles. The rest of the festivals people don't really bother to do. Now, the other thing that I want to underline about the feast that I mentioned numerous times, I want to labor that point again, is that every feast is associated with the time of preparation. And we saw that with the idea of Passover. Passover is on the 14th of Nisan, and it's a day of preparation. That's what they call it in the Brit Hadashah or New Testament. And the preparation for the feast or the coming of Messiah, that was the first coming, is very, very important. Otherwise you might miss him. In the same token, the preparation for every feast is very important, because if you don't prepare, you can't actually celebrate. And stressing the point even further, the preparation for the second coming of Messiah is associated with the last 3 festivals. And if we don't prepare, we won't be ready. And it's about preparing the bride and to be ready, engaging with the purification cycles, of which the book of Esther reveals a year to 6-month periods of preparation, which relates to the first coming, second coming, which also relates to the word and the Spirit of Yahweh. So the time of preparation is paramount into prepare as a bride and also to prepare as a feast. Now, Purim sits right between Tabernacles and Pesach. That means that the time of Purim is the preparation for the new 7 feasts for the next year. And that is what we're going to look at tonight as well. So I want to leave you with those thoughts. I am going to record the session and put it on YouTube. You have a lovely day, and shalom.